So without any further ado, assuming he needs a big introduction, Russ Diethrick.
That proved I was shy about everything. If I ever had to do this in Lincoln School or Charles Street School or Jamestown High School, stand up to a podium, I was just shaking, I couldn't talk. But it's a great time to be here, and it's a great part of the community. As I was sitting there now, I went through my mind, the job is not done yet. We have two beautiful books, but we've got another write a book about extra innings. So I hope you're gathering all the information to put out another edition titled Extra Innings about baseball in Jamestown. And it's so very, very important. It's good for what happens in that stadium and then around the stadium, but one of the most important things is what happens in our community and what happens in our county and in our city and everybody around us. I can remember working and putting together the semi-pro baseball league and was so thrilled. There were many professional baseball players that stepped forward, come forward and come to practice, and we put together that league. And they were players who played here with the Jamestown Falcons, Ted Wybernack and John Pollack, and just a whole long list of Mr. Schmidt. And we asked him, with all your major leagues career, what brought you back to Jamestown? And they said, well, it's the community. It's the people that live in the community. And it's a beautiful place and a wonderful place. And they all come back, and they made outstanding citizens. They went to work in the community. They went into leadership roles in the community, and really put it forth. But I said, well, really, what brought you back? He said, well, did you ever pay any attention to all the girls at the stadium? And that's what brought him back. So ladies, keep up your job, please. It's that smile that you bring to the stadium. It's a very important part down there. That stadium is it's one of the landmarks, and it's one of the places that the people in the community can talk about for generations. And we hope that we know that it's going to continue. So I would ask that I can remember times you were talking about keeping it going at the end of the season. People would kind of clear their throat to a couple of us and say, we'll meet you at Jamestown Bank. And we were able to come up with the dollars to pay the debt from the just ending season and getting ready for the next season. And many wonderful people in this room have stepped up. So there's not that knock on the door in the middle of the night, thanks to you people. And it's going to be here, it's going to be stronger, and it's going to be better, and it's going to be more meaningful because the investors that have stepped forward to keep it going and keep it going at this level. There are a few times there are empty seats at the stadium, but we hope and we look forward every day and every year that one day we'll look out there and every seat will be taken. I can remember a couple games of standing room only at the stadium, and that's repeatable. That can happen again. And because there's people that have kept it going and people that kept it talked about, the ones that we've met today and shared time with here today, we can never say thank you enough for what you have done to help write the first inning, the second inning, and now we go into the extra innings. It's so very important in our community. And it can go on in the 9-inning spell, or it can go on for 20 innings down at the stadium. I remember one night doing that. Don Morrow hit a home run, so we won the game. We could get home before dark. Before daylight. And all of those exciting things. So if we can keep that going and then keep that activity going, it's going to be so very important. And when the umpire says game's over, it doesn't quit in our community, because either in the brightness of the next morning, when you turn the radio on at WJTN or the other radio stations we had at Kissin and the others, immediately they were talking about the baseball program, the baseball game, the excitement at the stadium. And when you went out on the porch, there was a Jamestown Sun paper there in the morning, and Wade Forsythe made sure that there were stories and pictures of the baseball game of the night before at the stadium. And then along about 5 o'clock or so, there would be a little rumble on your front porch, and that would be the Jamestown Post-Journal. And with Frank Hyde's efforts and everybody else's work, the results of the stadium was always there, and so that's very, very important. we in this room can gather and work just as hard as we want to, but if we, the people out there, the fans, don't know what's happening and what's going on and what the is present and what the future can be, it would be a much, much steeper hill to climb. But thank you to the media program that we have in our community. They are really, truly, truly Hall of Famers for the creation of Jamestown and baseball in Jamestown. One of the other things that's so important to I think, in the fabric of the baseball program, and you mentioned a few of those names, and Fulford and Hammond and Kenny Martin and others who were never put on a professional or a major league roster, but they are so very important to the baseball program, because it doesn't start when you step out on the field at Yankee Stadium or down at the college stadium. It started in your backyard when you and your uncle or your mother or your sister or your brother or your father were playing catch. And then you went to the ball field and you met a bunch of other friends of you. And I don't think they know how to do this today, but you used to be able to do that on a bat to find out who got the first choice. And many times over Lincoln, when we got around to the first choice, it was one of those girls sitting there because they could hit more home runs and run faster than any of the guy there. So it was so very important to pull all of that together, and that's what put baseball organization together. And there are people that could not sit in a dugout or come out on the field to put the ball game exciting, but there was always just miles and efforts of time and effort of work behind what goes on after the game is over and before the game starts. And those people are so very, very important to local and minor league baseball. And the people that come with the idea of the perfect league and the wood bat league and the college baseball program is so very important. Because I wake up sometime in the middle of the night and I have realizations that when I look at it, you know, we had all of the minor league baseball teams all over and all the leagues, and the colleges, or the football, the NFL, and the NBA, and all of the professional sports at that level, their minor league operation was not like Jamestown and Olean and Bradford and St. Catharines. It was all the major colleges. It was a minor leagues for all of those major sports. And now it looks more and more a little bit to me each day that the colleges are going to be a very important part of the minor league loop or the minor league baseball program. And we have it in Jamestown, and it's well known here. So those baseball cards that were collected are the ones that played organized baseball, professional baseball in Jamestown. But there's a whole host of them starting to be gathered of the fellows that Mr. Barone and all of our teachers and coaches in these different programs have put together. So there's going to be on a wall sometime, somewhere, someplace, a list of baseball cards that played in the major leagues, but they played here in the program that you people have supported and you people have put together. So in respect to the ones that were here on day one and put this thing together and decided, oh boy, we better build a stadium in Jamestown, in respect to them and all of their efforts, and in respect to the ones that are here today, you are putting it together because you know you're only part of the foundation. There's going to be a group that's going to step forward and stand on your shoulders, and we're going to have baseball again and again and again and again. So in our community, to the people in the past and the people in the current, we say thank you. And to the people who are yet unborn, who will be down at that stadium or be playing baseball someplace along the line, make sure that they never forget how to do choosing this and realize that it is a team affair. It's a team affair on the field, but that other team that's so very important is the team that's in this room here today. So please, please be a member of the team always. We'd love to have you here. Thank you.